What is up, guys? Dan from the Leap Crew here, and we are back with our second video of the day. If you're surprised by this, then you haven't watched today's earlier video. It was our week 9 APA Wi-Fi battle against Phantom Bass and the New York Cosmos. We did come out on top with that, hence we are now 7-2. As I said at the end of last video as well, if you missed it, we did get a forfeit in week 11. So we are recapping our videos right now. We are behind, completely my fault. I've just been very lazy, I've been very busy. But I want to catch up and everything. So because we're doing really well. So we did get a forfeit week 11, so we're technically 8-2. But anyway, this week we are against Panther and the Carolina CLEFABLES. Panther is a fellow commissioner, one of the creators of the league alongside Minicus, and a really good pal of ours. Helps us build sometimes. So we did have to completely prep by ourselves, which we don't do often. I won't lie, we don't do often. Probably the only time I actually prep myself is when I'm playing Panther, and hence why I normally lose. But I've tried doing my own prep this time, except because we are both 7-2. We're both 7-2, and we are in opposite divisions. So there is a very strong chance that we will play each other in playoffs. So I didn't really want to reveal too many sets. So I brought a bit of heat. Like just a bit of fun. Looking back on it, there's probably some stuff there that I could have probably saved for the playoff match. There's like, I didn't bring Cloister because I wanted to save it for the real match. So as you can see on the screen, our team is Tangrowth, Crocodile, Regirock, Latias, Magina, and Galvantula. I think we're running a Focus Sash Galvantula again. Probably Assault Vest Magina. We're running Choice Scarf Trick. Oh no, we have Choice Specs Magina. With Choice Scarf Trick Latias. Again, just for a bit of fun. We are, I think we're Weakness Policy Regirock. We have a Z move, we have Groundium Z on our Crocodile. Not really heat, but as far as Panther knows, because I hadn't completed the game on Wi-Fi, I couldn't use Z moves. But then I went ahead and completed the game, so now I could use Z moves. I could use all the Z moves. But Panther wasn't aware of that, so I don't know how much that played into his mind, if at all, but that was something that I've kind of thought of and was like, could be a little bit cheeky, and then we end up playing on Showdown anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, and I think Tangrowth's just a regular defensive Tangrowth, mainly to deal with Excadrill. Yeah, just physically defensive Tangrowth. So let's put it on normal speed, as we did last time, and let's just run through this game. So looking at his team, I thought Galvantula probably the best place to start. Oh no, I started with Latias because I really wanted to trick, get rid of the Choice Scarf straight away. And he decided, oh my god, that was loud. That was loud. We did leave Latias, and he decided to leave the Tapu Bulu. And now I don't know why. I thought maybe I don't know much about Tapu Bulu. I'll be honest. I just know that it doesn't get a physical fairy move. So I was thinking, a grass move I can take, so I was like, surely he'll switch out. So I was like, I'm just going to go for a trick. And I went for a trick, but he decided to stay in and go for, I stole his Kebia Berry, which is nice. He went for a Mega Horn, which almost completely took out my Latias. Really not ideal first turn for us. Jock and Hugo, Panther's lackeys, were in the chat the whole time, giving me abuse and giving it, even Panther abuse as well, to be fair. But yeah, Jock was like, oh, so Dan's just given Panther the win turn 1, giving him a Choice Scarf on his Tapu Bulu. But in the end of the day, I was happy to do that because it meant that, like, I don't know his set. He could have maybe been set up. He could have been a set-up Tapu Bulu. And it also just stops him being annoying with being able to click and change his moves. It does limit Tapu Bulu somewhat, especially when he's not prepared to be a Scarfer. So I wasn't mad, but I was fine having that happen. So I wanted to get out of here because I wanted to preserve Latias. So I just went out to Afroman. I knew another Mega Horn would hurt, but I knew that it wouldn't do over 50. And that was the kind of the key thing for me. He switches out because he knows I have Sludge Bomb. Goes out into the Arcanine as I went. I doubled out. I doubled out into Galvantula, which turned out to be a nice little play. We could Volt Switch out. Did 26%. And I just went out to Regirock because I knew that I could take anything. Unfortunately, we did get Will-O-Wisp, which meant that our Weakness Policy set was completely useless. completely useless as he went for a Will-O-Wisp. Which is fair enough, as he probably assumed I'd go either into Regirock. Because whilst Regirock walls Arcanine completely, now with the burn, Arcanine also walls me as well. So I wasn't really doing anything. This one was just here to check Arcanine. But I'm pretty sure he doubled out here. He switched out, yeah. Goes out into Dwayne, the Gigalith, as I was just able to get my Stealth Rocks up. I knew he wouldn't stay in. I was happy to do that. As I switch out and he probably gets his own rocks up. I go out to Tangrowth. He does get his rocks up, so just trading rocks there, which again is absolutely fine. I do have Defog on Latias. I'm happy to just get a Leech Seed off as he gets a Toxic off my Tangrowth, which was pretty, not scary, but something that I had to be wary about. But with the Regenerator, not really too much of a massive problem. Now he goes out into Gengar, and I go for a Sludge Bomb, predicting the Tapu Bulu. So I revealed Sludge Bomb pretty early, which I wasn't too keen about, but as I say, he went out into Gengar, and this is a very kind of cause for discussion, because what did Tom say? Tom, oh no, Jock was talking about Tom in the chat. Anyway, you can see my cursor. Anyway. So I ran some calcs, right? I ran some calcs, and obviously a Sludge Bomb from a Gengar kills me. I'm a physically defensive Tangrowth. A Sludge Bomb from a Gengar kills me. So a normal person would. Here's my thought. I was thinking a normal person switches out. I was like, I should switch out. But I was like, this is Panther. Like, he wants to keep the momentum. He's not just going to go for a Sludge Bomb, especially when I can just go into Magearna. And take it, or I can go into, or I can go into Crocodile predicting something. So I was like, I have Earthquake on this thing, so I thought, fuck it. I'm gonna stay in, and I'm gonna click Earthquake. He went for a Will-O-Wisp, predicting the Crocodile to come in. I think completely failed, as I went for an Earthquake and it killed the Gengar, and everyone went mad. Like, Jock, I say everyone, I think it was just Jock, frankly. Literally, let's have a look at some of these comments. Panther goes, well, God, Hugo goes, good play, Panther. Panther's like, who stays in? I'm like, me. And I'm sitting there like, I expect my invite to their, like, champions chat in the morning, lads. And Jock's like, that's not good prep. And I was like, because Jock just likes to bust my fucking nuts, basically. And I was just like, fuck it, it worked. It worked. Who stays in? Because I predicted him to go for something like that. I predicted that he wouldn't go for Sludge Bomb. So I think for them to be, I don't know. I think that was a sick play. Well, it was a sick play. It was obviously a sick play. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Everyone will have their own opinion. It happened earlier in the season against Kurt. Kurt got a bit salty. I was talking to him the other day about it. Like, it's not a problem. But I stayed in with Latias against the Mega Aerodactyl because a Crunch would have killed me. But I was like, a Pursuit would have killed me. So that's why I stayed in Draco'd. So, you know, you got to make those plays. You know, if you switch into your reliable switching all the time, like, it's just going to get worn down. You know, like, if I went into Crocodile there, I don't know why I would have gone to Crocodile. I probably would have gone to Magearna. But like, why would I do that when I have an answer and I've predicted him to not attack the thing in front of him? He's over predicted. So I've been talking about this for a while now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're a bit low, so I have to switch out here to get some Regenerator back. As he could have set up here, I think, if he wanted to, but he just went for an Iron Head. I don't know what his set was. Oh, Life Orb. There you go, Life Orb. He could have set up. I don't know if he had Source Dance, but I just sacked off my Latias there. I brought in Tangrowth again, not to get Regenerator, just because I knew I could handle this thing. The Intimidate comes off, and I get another Leech Seed off, which is really, really nice. Get a bit more recovery back, and I can switch out as well. He's down to 50%. I don't know if he stays in the Morning Suns. Yeah, he stays in the Morning Suns. I predicted him to switch out. Obviously, in Sandstorm, it doesn't do too much. I could have Earthquaked. We are at -1 attack, so it wouldn't have done too much. But we're keeping him low with the Leech Seed, which is nice. Anyway, I'm happy to switch out now because I want to get back up to peak. As he went for another Morning Sun, I knew he would stay in, so I had a free switch into Crocodile. And there's no grassy terrain, so I knew an Earthquake would have killed. At this point, this is a Z move Crocodile. It's not Scarf or anything, but I know I outspeed his whole team outside of sand, except for the choice Scarf, Tapu Bulu. So I had to make a good prediction there. But anyway, I doubled out predicting the Tapu Bulu, even though I could have Sludge Bomb predicting the Tapu Bulu. As I said, I knew that I could take any 2 hits from this thing. So he doubles out, doesn't want to take a Sludge Bomb, goes back out into Arcanine, takes another 25%. As I did go for another Sludge Bomb. Wish I'd started predicting a bit earlier. I think I was just very much not on the back foot, but I was playing it a bit safe. I say playing a bit safe. I did make that Tangrowth play, but just like I didn't want to Earthquake and then be fucked, especially with grassy terrain, especially at -1. Like, it wasn't really worth it, so I may as well just gone for a Sludge Bomb. Another free switch into Crocodile, because I know again he's just going to Morning Sun up, and again this applies the pressure. And at some point, I'm trying to get ahead of myself, and I go back out into Tangrowth, as he goes out into Tapu Bulu again, and he knows he can't stay in because I will Sludge Bomb. And at the minute, I'm not really getting anywhere. All I'm doing is just kind of shuffling around. As he goes out into Milotic, predicting me to switch, but I just went for Elite Seed, predicting him to switch out. So again, getting a bit more momentum going there, getting ahead. So he gets his Flame Orb, so he's happy with that. Switches back out into Arcanine, as I went for a Giga Drain. Did absolutely nothing, 11%. He took it absolutely like an absolute champ. And I want to switch out. The toxic damage is racking up a bit, so I go out into Pierre Totem. As I say, I know it walls this thing completely. Flare Blitz comes in. We predict that really, really well. 14% does absolutely nothing to us. But as I say, we know we can't do anything back. But I wanted to kind of, I wanted to kind of let Regirock go, not go, but at some point, just because it was useless, but it still walled Arcanine, so I had to keep it around. But I did make that double into Afro Man yet again. So really, I was constantly making those right predictions, to be honest. I was constantly, every time you saw, those last 3 or 4 times, I brought Tangrowth in every time we tried to bring Tapu Bulu in. And I can't, the thing is, I can't just bring in Crocodile in that situation because he's now Scarf, so he does outspeed me and he will kill me. Whereas with Tangrowth, I know that I can live any attack he goes for. And I have Sludge Bomb, which kills because he doesn't have his berry anymore, which went down with Latias. But anyway, we're making some decent predictions in kind of keeping, not gaining momentum as much, but just kind of keeping level, keeping with Panther. So we keep getting Leech Seeds off, which is really, really nice. We are hitting every single one, which is unfortunate for Panther, but you know, that's what happens. As he goes out into the Tapu Bulu, I went into the Regirock. And I'm just sitting here thinking, shit. But I predicted that he would go for... I predicted that he would overprotect again. He went for Mega Horn, predicting me to go into Tangrowth. As I went for a Rock Polish. But what I didn't think right was... I was like... honestly, this is bad. So I'm going to explain my thinking to you anyway, because it's funny. But I was like, right. If he hits me, he's going to activate my weakness policy. So I ran the calcs and I was like, I can live a hit. But obviously, I was like, I can live a hit from Mega Horn, which I predicted him to do, and I forgot that Mega Horn wouldn't activate my weakness policy. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my weakness policy. Let's go for a Rock Polish. Fuck it. Like in the chat, I'm like, only God can judge me. I'm like, I don't know. It was funny. It was funny. But we did end up outspeeding a Scarf. Bulu, which is nice. So I went for an Iron Head. It does absolutely nothing. If we weren't burnt, we could get a flinch. We did get a flinch. But he went out to Milotic. He didn't want to be getting flinched down all the time. So I doubled out. I made a double. I made a good double. So I went out into Magearna. I knew I could Volt Switch. I'm pretty sure I respects Volt Switch. So he went into the Arcanine to take the Volt Switch. And I went for an Ice Beam. I went for an Ice Beam predicting the Extra Gel, I think. which is fair enough because I say I wanted the Volt Switch. But I knew he was going to Morning Sun again, which he did. So that again, that switch into Crocodile was completely justified. Really nice free switch in. We took a bit of rocks damage, but at this point, I'm thinking I have to start doing something. We're 30 turns in. I have to make a play. So instead of going for EQ or doubling out like I have done the last couple of times, I went straight for the Sludge Bomb as the Tapu Bulu comes in, and we get it absolutely bang on. Sludge Bomb comes in, takes out Algor. We get our Moxie Boost. Not that it matters because he can just bring in Milotic, which does. I say it does wall us. But you can see that we went for a Z move. We went for our Z move. Tectonic Rage is 50%. So completely took out the Milotic. We're at +2 as the Arcanine comes in now. So he's Intimidate gets us back down to 1.5. As he goes out into back out into Gigalith. Again, he wants to keep doing that. The Earthquake comes in, did 38%, so he lives because of grassy terrain. But we did get a crit. We did get a crit there, which basically won us the game at that point. Put us back up at +2. Obviously, if we lived that, then he could have brought Arcanine in again and got us back down to zip, like the neutral attack. At this point, an Earthquake obviously kills, even at +1. He went for an Extreme Speed just to try and get us down a bit. But the Arcanine goes down at this point, and it's just left with the Excadrill in the sand. Remember, Excadrill in the sand. So I did stay in. I just kind of sat. The Earthquake comes in from the Excadrill, takes me out. But I was happy to do that because I knew that Tangrowth could just come in. And his only chance was to say was Iron Heading. That was his only chance of winning. And he did get a flinch here. And with Sandstorm and Toxic coming in, I was like, I don't really want to. I want to play it safe. So I went out into Magearna. Took this Iron Heads. Oh no, I did 62%. I did a lot. But again, I was happy. Oh no, I didn't sack Magearna. I went back out to Regirock and I sacked Regirock. So we were winning 5-0, but just because of Excadrill's antics, I did have to sack it down to 3. But at this point, Tangrowth comes in. Ironhead does 31%, but we didn't get flinch this time, unfortunately, and Giga Drain come in and got the win. So we are now 8-2 with the forfeit next week in week 11, 9-2, which is absolutely fantastic. We have secured playoffs, top seed as well, so that means we get a bye. We are automatically into the semi-finals of the playoffs, which is as far as we've ever gotten before. We've never gone to a final. Unfortunately, to get to a final, we are going to have to beat either the winner of the other division in our conference, which was Panther, or the best placed runner-up, which was Jock. Two people who I haven't had the best of luck with recently, aside from this game against Panther. Jock has beaten me the last 2 times. I beat him like last 7 times before that or something. I don't know. So not too worried about Jock. If it's Panther, then I'm worried. If it's Jock, I'm not too worried, to be honest. Jock's bad on Wi-Fi, so it's cool. But say really happy with this win. This is our first win against Panther, other than against UPFC. So other than in UPFC. So our first one in APA, which is a little closer to home for us. And so we're really chuffed to get this win. Panther didn't talk to me for a while after this because of the Tangrowth play. Sorry for outing you, man, but it's funny. Honestly, it's funny. I think we made some good plays. I say with the Tangrowth Earthquake on Gengar, the Sludge Bomb with Crocodile, as well as having Z Tectonic Rage. Because, as I say, I don't think he was expecting it, and a normal Earthquake wouldn't have killed the Milotic. We did get lucky with the crit on Gigalith, which did change. It probably made the game. I think the game was won at that point, maybe. But like it's still. It didn't matter too much. I don't think. Galvantula, did Galvantula even come in this game? I don't think it did. I think it didn't come in at all. But that's absolutely fine. So really happy. Good. We prepped by ourselves. Which we are doing more and more now, just because I don't want to have to rely on people and like you know, like, yeah, whatever. I'm talking so much. Thank you for watching, guys. It's been, what the fuck? It's been a 20-minute recording. Fucking hell, that's mad. That's actually mad. Anyway, 20 minutes too long. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you come back tomorrow, where we are up to date. We are our final regular season match, week 12, back where we started against Arcanite, where we lost our first game, and then made the changes to our team, which is what you see now, and went on a mad streak of winning 9 games, only losing 1, which we shouldn't have lost. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I've been Boily for Dan. See you tomorrow. Peace.